And this is the After Hours Gaming League semifinals between Twitter and Epic. I almost said Zynga and IBM, but no, indeed that happened last frickin' week, where we got the chance to see IBM narrowly take the win 4-3. What will end up happening today? The series currently tied up 1-1. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into game number 3. Where in the top corner, we see from Team Epic, his teammate just won with the cheesiest cheese of all time. How will he cheese? He is Llama from Team Epic. And down in the Southlands, representing all the tweets in the whole wide world, seriously, he is your champion. From Team Twitter, it is Zelnaga. Aw, yeah. Now, of course, I would like to give an extra special thanks to Red Bull Gaming that is supporting this league by donating their venue on April 21st, where both these teams will be heading out to compete. That's right, they will be in those live isolation booths. The casters will be myself and Husky Starcraft doing the casting of the grand finals on the 21st of April. More info on that throughout the week. And of course, you can always go to the website that you literally see right there on the screen, AfterHoursGaming.tv. We do see that first drone moving out for Zelnaga, making the first mode of aggression. And interestingly enough, we see Llama is not going to early expand. Wow. He's not early expanding. He's actually throwing down his gateway numero uno at the front of his base. The watchtower now being snatched up by that tricky drone. Twitter's Zelnaga. Always odd to have a player whose name is something in the game. I thought that was reserved largely to players in Korea who had awesome names in Brood War, like The Marine and Zerg. But of course, a little bit more creativity. Zelnaga, the 4th race in Starcraft 2. I really hope that Blizzard just surprises us and says, "Oh, gotcha, there's actually going to be a whole new race." I remember that when that was a cool thing that expansions did. They added whole new freaking races in there. Now that's only reserved to RPGs. Frown. Frown. Now Llama, under a little bit of damage with that one probe. There is the cybernetics core going down. Some key information did get picked up by that epic Protoss. Oh, see what I did there? My god, I'm not clever. We see that there's no gas geysers down right now, so any early stalker pressure is going to be highly effective. Very easy to kite those Zerglings with a stalker. Meanwhile, the expansion, about halfway done. Extractor now down. One zealot has been planted, but there's also been no second gas. Look at the save up of energy on that Nexus, a full 100. He might very well just churn out a ton of gateway units. Let's see what he does. Oh. This does not bode well for Zerg. He's going to have 5 chrono boosts. That's right, the 4 that he had save up, and he will even have enough for a 5th one following this one up too. He is going to have such a sickening amount of units at the front of that Zerg base very early on. And if Zelnaga doesn't start churning out some of them Zerglings, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Also, if you guys could keep a count of how many times I say a lot of trouble, I would be much obliged. Oh my god! He shoots his own gateway! An appalling... Oh no, he chrono boosts the supply block gateway. Oh no, Llama. Looks like Llama... Oh, I'm a supply block. Time to expand. Bam. Don't worry, I do it all the time. See that Warp Gate research also coming right along. The Zealot Stalker Force now approaching the front. Zelnaga from Team Twitter taking a little bit of damage at the front. Now the Queen, really the only thing that's standing in the way, and we see the drones now stepping into the action. Will he kill off any drones? He's killed off one. Can he kill a second? No, and it looks like the Zergling swell is enormous. Llama pulling back super mega giga hard. And now building those extra gateways up, now adding on his first sentry. That's become an increasing trend of Protoss players who do the early expand without who don't rush for a massive amount of sentries. They start to go for more stalkers, put more pressure on, especially if the Zerg player delays his gas. 4th gateway down right now for Llama, creating a nice little cup there at the front. Forge has been planted as well. Llama moving up. Will he be able to find that sneaky little drone that's up in the back? And anytime a drone's in the base, it could turn into a building at any point. Until he gets hunted down and murdered in the corner. Oh my god, at least shoot him with him facing you. No, he gets shot in the left wing. Twitter's Naga now doing a little bit of damage to those destructible rocks. Wall-off has been completed by Llama. Nice little nestled wall-off there. Forge is done. Real question for Naga, how he wants to follow this up. Two-base play is quite difficult with Zerg against Protoss. And it looks like Naga may very well just continue to rack up a lot of drones. And followed up with a fast gold base. We see the two queens now starting to pull back after spreading some creep tumors up at the front, starting to get their control over the mid-map. There we see the warp gate research wrapping on up. Overlord seems to be in a fairly safe position. Now we do see the cannon finishing up +1. Would not be surprised to see a timing push out of that Llama. He's going to have a very, very clear way of how he wants to be aggressive. Many Protosses fail to have any follow-up aggression at this phase in the game. It becomes very, very tricky spot to be in because the Zerg has literally had the opportunity to go absolutely bear crazy with the amount of droning that he does. Looks like that probe didn't really have a purpose in life, but the Zerg quickly took care of that. There's the Guardian Shield. Don't know if that was a misclick or not, but that's only from Mayray. Looks like Naga also taking the Extractor to help get him some sort of follow-up tech. There's the Roach Horn going down layer. Excellent. Things are going along just swimmingly in the base of Naga. Soon enough, he'll have the opportunity to get that Roach speed upgrade up and deal with this huge push that could come. But keep in mind, if a big push comes, that's almost a sign of delight for the Zerg player because he has one big push he needs to hold off, and it's very difficult for Protoss, who opened one base, then took a second base, to have a follow-up after a failed big push. It's ultra important as the Protoss in this spot to conserve your units hard. And it looks like Llama just doing the usual tech. The Robo, the Twilight Council, he'll be getting +2. He'll be getting Blink, he'll be getting Observers and Immortals. And the quick third, I actually like this quite a bit. It's difficult to take an ultra-fast third on this map, but for a Protoss player who wants just a reasonably timed third, it ends up being quite safe. Twitter's Naga is now finishing up his lair. There's the Roach tech. There's the Evolution Chamber. And I will say that this can be a very uncomfortable position for a lot of Zergs who are used to being up against early expanding Protosses. So many Protosses early expand that too often a Zerg player will have no experience against a normal Protoss player. And in this particular circumstance, it's very easy to under-Roach. Building a round of Roaches right now, right around the time when you're finishing up the speed, is a very effective way to put a little bit of poking damage, a little bit of chipping damage on your Protoss adversary while still having the opportunity to grow a good bit. You see that there's the +1 going down, and it looks like Llama continuing to move on forward. Warp Prism coming up. Ooh! Many proxy pylons going down as well. Llama looks like he's aware of this Zergling threat from the low ground, and there it is. He's actually walking his whole army around to try to pick off these Zerglings. That, my friends, is dedication. Will he force field? Well, he did. But this force field was left in the dust. Naga now getting his gold base up. Oh, the income tab. You know what? I'm going to open up this income bar. We're seeing how blue it is, as there's currently a lot of income coming in for Twitter's Caesar. Or, excuse me, Twitter's Naga. Caesar played in the first game, and Caesar plays Protoss. Silly day 9. Probe continuing to stay hidden. The Warp Prism is now up and planted on the backside, and when behind, Dark Shrine, ladies and gentlemen. That is the call of Protosses around the world. What you been up to this weekend? Oh, you know the usual. Building DTs and lost games. This game is by no means lost for our Protoss player Llama from Team Epic. But Mr. Epic Llama looks like he wants to do a little bit of DT drama. He's going to have to hit this force field really nice. No. The Zerg player pulls back. No! The Zerg player continues to advance forward. Going to try to pick anything that he can off. Zerg's got to be careful. He's going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. And it looks like, oh no, there's the start of the hard place. He needs to throw down another nice money force field. No, he will only capture a small number of roaches, but a small number of roaches still better than nothing. And oh, Dark Templar, Dark Templar, Dark Templar. In the meantime, it looks like the Zerg player has started to do a back and forth attack, hitting one side, going back and hitting the other. This expansion is quite vulnerable, and it looks like there's really not that many force fields ready to be thrown down. And there we see with some blink, it will not really be of much help. There's the money force field that he needed, and that one immortal in the mineral line just sitting there idly, not doing that much. But in the meantime, it looks like we have a lot of roaches continuing to spread across the map. Twitter's Zelnaga is starting to go into that big mass 1A mode. Third base up, second base, main base, looking amazing for Llama. Chrono boosting up that +3, and the DTs. Oh my god, the humanity. Oh, the disorganization. The humanity of the disorganization. Llama! Llama! Click, 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 click. Come on, Llama. Come on, man. Llama, man. Dude, Llama. Oh, no, Llama. Oh, the roach, really? Llama! Llama spots it, and he's going to go for it. Llama. Now taking down the hatchery, electing not to warp in any DTs into the main army until now to keep those DTs as hidden as possible. And there the gold base is starting to fall down oh so rapidly. We see the overlords moving to the right side. They spot that pesky warp prism, but in the meantime, Llama is moving forward with quite a lot of haste. Like he's a Warcraft 3 Blade Master. He's going to be sneaking in there with all those DTs. But unfortunately, those Dark Templar do not have any Scroll of Town Portal. Looks like a little bit of teamwork will occur in that bottom side, but it is a tenuous team at best. Warp Prism and DT managed to get out unscathed. In the meantime, it looks like Llama is continuing to play very, very well. Stargate, Robotics Base, we can begin to get the infamous Colossus plus Mothership composition. But right now, Zelnaga's money got very high from having that gold expansion up. Looks like his macro slipped behind a little bit. DTs abound the map, doing maximum damage. Here's one of those money spots where for some reason this just exists in this map and no one knows why. Not a soul knows why. Looks like Zelnaga is starting to add on the Spire. We see more DTs in production. Trying to find some spot of vulnerability there. Drones continue to be added on in the main base. More and more gateways. Llama looking so great. And that War Prism still alive. Oh, the DT managed to slip into the main. In that workers killed station, 12 workers have been killed, not that many in the unit count, 44 drones. Too much aggression coming out of Zelnaga, not enough time spent on droning. Or perhaps he just thought that he was going to have that gold up a little bit longer, but now it looks like the DT might be able to take down the Spire. I don't think he can transfuse a building, and no, it gets canceled off. And now Spire attempt number 2 occurs. We also see another Robo facility going down the Fleet Beacon, the Robo Bay. It's gonna be a mothership, ladies and gents. It's gonna be a mothership. Third base number 2 going down for Twitter's Zelnaga. Starting to build all sorts of spores and spines in due time. More zealots moving into the main base. That War Prism continuing to be quite a nuisance. Zerglings start to step into the action, but those zealots have just so much damage output with that +3 attack. Armor is definitely going to be very helpful when you can start getting it in. It looks like shields is his choice. And, oh, carrier! Carrier! Oh, carriers! Nice! Oh! Oh! Is that really necessary, Llama? Is that really a necessary move, Llama? We see a pretty substantial Sentry Immortal Stalker force with a few DTs and Zealots smattered in there. The gold expansion now coming up from Llama. There's another big warp in. It's just good, guys. It's just an unbelievably annoying set of tactics. Why pick off the Spore Crawlers when the DTs do enough damage on their own? A full 60 damage per swipe. That's enough to kill off an SCV from Starcraft 1. Llama now moving straight down to the mid-map. He sees that there's a couple of Creep Tumors lining that northern edge. Will he be able to take them out? It looks like... Oh, another series of warp-ins! Will it get... Oh! He manages to get a good chunk of them. But soon enough, Carrier has arrived. Might not even need it. Llama's continuing to just waltz forward. Where are the units? Thrown willy-nilly, trying to defend against all those warp gate pressures. A huge line of force fields to ensure that nothing is there. And no, it looks like they were actually defensive force fields. It was just thrown down to give them an opportunity to retreat. More zealots and DTs warp in. Llama knows the importance of these multiple pronged attacks. He's moving in with the big army and then warping in on the sides. There we see the gravitic drive, the warp prism movement, but what do we have here? It looks like a Nidus network going down in the main base. 3 more carriers in production. Now we see that Robo Bay finally being used, the warp prism speed. The 5th base now coming up. That gold is also up and running. 86 probes on the map. And it looks like Xel'Naga starting to realize that there's a warp prism hiding on that side. Oh no, pulls away just in time. And it looks like, again, these DTs are doing enormous damage. How many kills will this one get to? It looks like just ripping that roach down in seconds. But I'm really excited to see what happens with the Nidus network. Seriously, I kid you not. I cannot wait. Come on, Nidus network. Come on. Come on, Nidus. Come on, Nidus. Ooh, a little sneaky DT. I'm not here. You can't see me. I'm not a unit you need to worry about. My god, Llama is still warping in with this warp prism. That is such an effective tactic. And there we see 3 more carriers popping out, plus 2 air weapons. Is that Spire done? It is. Xel'Naga might be able to get up a good amount of those Corruptors. But he's been so distracted by these DTs, he's almost gone into Roach autopilot. 54 Roaches on the map right now. And oh, it gets in! Oh, he spots the Nidus network. Oh, and he's going to go straight for that Spire, isn't he? No, he's going to go for the Queens. 1, 2, 3 hits. Whoa. Almost 3 hits. Could have been 3 hits. 1, 2... Oh! No, takes it down. And there we see another push attempt from Llama. The carriers have been revealed, and Llama's force is not going to last that long against this many roaches. We see Xel'Naga starting to sprint forward, just hitting the 1A button. Llama doing not that much damage. The roaches are really ripping everything apart, and this really is a nice opportunity for Twitter's Xel'Naga to start putting the win back on his side of the court. Wow. That was quite a turnaround, but at the same time, there's a lot of carriers on the map. But here's the Nidus Worm, getting ready to step into action. And he's going to blink into the main base, where all those units are headed anyways. Llama maybe bought himself a little bit of time, but he's still going to have to deal with this Nidus network. Oh, when he gets the warp in, the Zealot DT play. And now with the carriers revealed, actually, did Twitter Xel'Naga see it? Or did Llama kill it off so quickly that he never got the chance to see? Nidus Worm getting ready to attack the 5th base over here on the left side. This is a lot of carriers, and carriers are very good in this matchup. 23 drones now being produced to try to replenish that gold expansion. And when will he see it? When will he see them? Oh no, after he spent all his money. The carriers are arriving! The carriers, they're arriving! Oh! And we see more roaches hitting the left. Now the roach is starting to unload, but where can they go? Oh no, they're going to be just caught off in outer space. The philosophical question of the ages in Starcraft. If you have units in the Nidus network and all the Niduses die, where do the units go? Are they killed? Do they live in that alternate dimension until you build another Nidus network? No one has ever given an answer to that question. In the main base, carriers with their 1A prowess, ripping everything apart. The good game, Epic, continues its tear after a cheesy game 1 with a convincing game number 2. Manages to put 2 wins on the field. Xel'Naga doing the infamous GG into play a little bit longer. Looks like he wants to see, is there any vulnerability here? Well, no. Carriers just kill things off so fast. So that does mean that Epic has managed to take the lead in a fairly uneventful game number 3. But keep in mind, nothing wrong with uneventful games. especially when you're trying to win. Coming up next is going to be USKC going up against Storm. Let's find out what happens as we go into game number 4 of the After Hours Gaming League semifinal number 2. Aw, yeah. See you in a sec.